I want to use your problems with this file, your problems, what Mrs. Samla was addressed to me. Well, I am using this model to address that issues which he has pointed out. So this mentoring process we are putting in this discussion so that we will get more insight on this 5C models. Okay, some discussion points, what he told me is this. These are the discussion points. How to identify the students who are to be mentored? That was his first point. Methods of effective mentoring and what way mentoring can be fit into academics. That was his question. Operational aspect of structured mentoring. That details he wanted. Precaution to be taken by merit while conducting the mentoring programs, do's and don'ts. How school teachers and parents can be included in mentoring. How can we model a sustainable mentoring program at school as merit may have limited volunteers and the new guys get admitted every year. So these are the points he has narrated. Okay, we will put the 5C model and discuss this problem one by one. Okay. Suppose, just for an example, I am asking, you are a mentor. One of your mentee student is coming and telling you, I am not going to school from tomorrow onwards. What will be your immediate response? I don't know, I hate school. So this is what he is going to tell tomorrow. So what is your immediate response? What do you... That is quite possible.
Yeah, and then I will just I'm just smiling.
No.
Okay, why do you think so? Maybe as a starting point. When you will tell something, catching upon that, slowly I will come to telling that what can possibly happen if you are not going. What can happen if you are continuing to go. Like that, try to talk to him. Yeah.
Okay, you will first in the initial phase you will give a smile, of course. Then you will try to
just talk him out, find out why he is feeling. Why he is feeling.
So the reason for his
why he is feeling so. And from whatever he is from the response, if I am getting something out of it, try to catch it up and try to convince him that it's better that if he continues this.
Okay. Any other option? That is one of the options for this point. It's possible. It is that way also you can reach to the goal. Okay.
I will listen to his views, why he wants to leave. Then if it is justified that he can't continue, we can accept his view. If there is compelling reasons, there may not be financial support or he may be sick or something.
Okay.
So you can suggest him other alternative. Then he going to school. He can go to job. He can go to some business.
So other alternatives you can suggest. Okay. See what you said, we can bring all this in the 5C models. You know. The problem he has put forward is his challenge. Okay. How we will open up before you, that itself is a big thing. There what he said, the empathy words. You cannot interrogate a person. So what is the reason? Why? Like our traditional way of parenting. If someone says, I hate school, why you hate school? That way of questioning is possible, but that way we cannot reach to the heart of the boy.
We have to listen first.
Yes, we have to open up. As you pointed out, we have to get in touch with his emotions and feelings. That is very important. That reasons may not reach at the first instance. So we have to go to the, okay, you are feeling now. He said I hate school. Oh, hatred is a feeling. Okay, you hate school. That's why I think something important. You have some important feeling against your school. So what happened to you? Something like that you can say, okay, maybe he's having some threat perceptions from the students or peers or school masters or somebody else's, or he is having more attraction outside for going some other way. So the reward and this pleasure and pain and pleasure, these are the two things, you know. Either we have to get reward for something, or we have to get pain for something, for to be sticking on some place or for going away from some place. This reward and punishment or pain and pleasure, this mechanism was everywhere. So what is his pain and what is his pleasure or reward? That we have to understand first. So there challenges comes. He's telling me, see, I hate that teacher. Or he's telling, I have good friends, they are making money. Why do I unnecessarily waste my time in school? So these are the logical or emotional questions he's posing. So then choices comes. Okay. Choices means, now okay, he hates school. He can, if he go to school, this happens. He doesn't like to go to school, this happens. Oh, he has a third option, what happens? So likewise, he can have choices. These choices, you encourage your mentee to come out with the maximum choices. That works very well, you know. So why people are doing harm or why people are very going wrong? Because we don't have much options in our mind. When my options are limited, I am constrained to do in a particular way. When I have bigger options and more than one options, naturally people will select the best option. So you encourage your mentee to go to different options and so that they can make good options. That is the what you call de facto build-up of a person. You know, he will go for the best option. He is having more than more than one options. Okay, each choice has its own consequences also. So okay, if you continue to study, your consequences, you are not getting money because your friends are going doing some business. Of course, some that may be one threat, you know. Mostly they want to get money than going to school. So that is one consequence if he is continuing with his study. So then what is the other option? You have to show consequences you have to see. Okay, if you don't go to school, you may get money, then you will be losing school. So whatever options they take, it has its own consequences that you have to discuss. When you are at this stage with more than one option, each option have its own consequences. Naturally, a creative solution can be built up. Many of then we may go a different option. Creativity comes out of the post thinking. So you don't necessarily go to the choices earlier selected. You can go totally novel choice also possible, or you can go for the best option. Then conclusion. These are the mechanisms. If you follow this method for each, maybe you are getting 1 hour discussion with the mentee. Even that 1 hour, if you follow this sequence, you know, gradually you can develop them to take their responsibility and their future they can design accordingly. Now, coming to his points, 6 points, we will do this same thing here. We may not come to a conclusion, but because we don't have much time, but you can do this same process. Identification of students, he said. Before identifying students, some 2-3 questions you yourself has to get answered. First thing, why do you want to go for mentoring? You have, as Dominic said, you have so many other businesses, busy schedule of your own job, and after that you have to give quality time to your family. In spite of all these things, why do you want to go for mentoring? So you have to satisfy your consciousness. So that answer is a soul-searching answer. You know? So that answer, of course, it may be subjective and varies from person to person. That I don't want to enter into that. That is one thing. Then second thing, before taking the identification of students, what sort of target group you want to address? Or what, which are the areas you want to interview? Whether it is confined to academic area only, or you want a total individual to be developed, nurtured. So these are certain areas you want to get answered. Then only we can design the identification criteria So that we have to see. Anyway, one thing is important. We cannot isolate the academics from the other aspects of human being, like his behavior, his discipline, his character, all these things. So we need a sort of integrating component in mentoring. You may be very expert in teaching mathematics or science because of by virtue of your experience and expertise, but that is not enough. Evidences are there. Those who are very good performers in academics, naturally they have it correlates with good behavior also. In classroom management or even teachers, they used to say, those who are very violent and all, in academics also they are poor. So it has its correlation. Again, some family problems may be triggering their this sort of violent behavior and all. So behavior aspects also we have to focus on areas. Now, with considering all these aspects, how to choose? See, we in CG's experience, we in many of our CG units we are having this sort of intervention, not necessarily the mentoring process. We have some projects, some long-term projects starting from 8th standard, some groups they are going from 5th standard onwards. Now we are going to have a uniform project for this. We just started initiation. Now different practices are going on in different places. So what I suggest is, what are the choices before us? How we can identify students? How, in what way? Tell me your answers. What do you find? In what way we can say, suppose we want 50 students for our our mentoring. How we can select what it was? How you please tell your own options.
Earlier we had a small session. It's like we had made some forms which contain questions like what do you want to be, their background, like that, some sort of question.
So means interviewing the students.
Yeah, small session, one-to-one.
One-to-one interview. Okay.
Get in touch with them, get some brief idea of what he's thinking.
So that how long it will take, how much time you are needing for one student?
30, 40 minutes.
So
it was for the first time that they have done this.
Okay. So one-to-one interview. That's fine.
One interview.
That is one way of selecting. Through their interaction and response, we are observing their way. So see, what I am asking is, in slums also, where they are coming from the poor background, he said, in economic background and social background also. So what is necessary is, do you want to nurture students who are average or above average or below average? This is in terms of academic performance, that's what I am asking. So that also we have to select. If you want to nurture even slums, they will be very smart students. Once it is easy to nurture them. So once they become leaders of that slum, they can transform the slum. So that way we can make use them the future mentors of the slum. That is possible. If you are taking the average students, so that we are giving mentoring and we can bring them up also. That is also another strategy to be adopted. There are slow learners or students who are having learning problems, early problems. They also we can be treated, but your mentoring cannot be focused in all these areas. So, which area you are selecting and which sort of problem you are going to address, accordingly the criteria we have to fix for identifying. One method is testing. That is more applicable or more appropriate for students to identify from the above average students. So their testing is okay. Testing is written test or something, or even you can give some group activities. That testing you can design. Even for our units, we have designed some tests. That way we are selecting students. Just simply through academic performance, if you want to select these school grades, you can get from the school. So how they are performing in the classroom. So that is one way of doing. Then observation, as you said, now this you are interacting with the students and you are having some observation of students. So you can pick up the students based on your criteria of intervention. Then parental support is very important. Even if you got a right student for your mentoring, if the parents or the whole slum is not in favor of you, you are not getting a friendly support from them, then things will not move. So parent support also can be. So all this mechanism has its own consequences also. So when you take each option, see what its consequence is. Once these things are all right, then you come to creative solution. That was the best option, or you can go for a different novel selection process. And the final thing you have to write down. This is the way we are going to do. So this process of taking decision I am not entering to now, because we don't have time for that. So you can use this mechanism and you bring all your volunteers, go through this sort of discussion so that you can come to a conclusion also, because you know the target group, you know what sort of intervention you want, all these things. Then academic specific mentoring. He said how this mentoring can be linked to academics. That doesn't mean we are accelerating the academic performance only. As I told you, the behavioral and the emotional character aspects also to be integrated. So this we can do mentoring for academic achievement is one aspect, and project-based mentoring. So in this project we can integrate all these aspects. So for that we need a project framework. For all this also having its own consequences, like a limited goal, multiple roles. You have to, as a mentor, you have to go for multiple roles. And project dependency also sometimes make this mentoring is sort of mechanical work. That should not be. Actually, in the definition stage we have seen mentoring relation is an unstructured relationship. But that doesn't mean you don't have any structural application in mentoring. All the mentoring techniques sometimes or interventions are structured, but your relationship is unstructured. Means, as he rightly pointed out, you have to accept a person in totality. So there, in relationship, we cannot have structure. We cannot have a structured relationship with our wife or son or daughter, even others also. So that way, relationship will be structured, but your intervention will be structured. Okay, structure and function. Why he said how this mentoring function can be effective, how we can structure it. That was his question. Now we are going to have a 3-year structure, means from 8th standard to 10th. That is in the project. So what is required is a mentor coordinator. Or for all mentoring programs, a leader mentor should be there. He will be coordinating the mentorship. So mentor-mentee ratio also we have to decide. So one mentor can do mentoring process with this number of target group. That is very important. Some consequences we can expect here: a role conflict, project ending problems, and regular monitoring. These are some consequences for that. Some problems may come. This you have to address and then come to a creative solution and conclusion. Now, risk management. He said what precautions we have to take in while mentoring. And so that part also we can have many choices. Mentoring review is one way. If you have a periodic review of mentoring, and then we need a sort of course correction or some sort of correction in the process. That also can be done. That is one precaution we can take. Then ST strengthening, support group strengthening. He asked again how parents and teachers can be integrated with the mentoring process. What is required is what we can do is forming some support groups from the slum, from the parents, from the school, the teachers. So this supporting group, you have to assign some aspects of this total project, and that support group can be strengthened. That is one precaution you can make. Mentor training, that is very much required. Mentor has to consistently train.
Sir, what is that strengthening point?
Strengthening this ST means support group. Means, say, if you form a parent group as a support group, you have to strengthen them in the sense that you have to periodically meet them, and you have to convince them, And it should be a participative process. You have to hear them. That way you have to strengthen that mechanism, that organ of
Interaction, basically that interaction.
That. Okay, here again now we are embedding mentoring as a prime mechanism in a social project. That is what we are going to do. For that, certain again consequences will be there. Problem of consistency. Okay, we have some initial enthusiasm. Sometimes some mentor, we cannot always expect the mentor is having the same stamina and energy consistently. So consistency problem will be the lack of support from the support group also. Mentor replacement is also become a problem. Suppose a person was mentoring a group of students. In the midway he got a transfer or suddenly you have to replace him. So these problems and consequences we have to then settle ethical issues. So mentor-mentee relationship, he should be a role model and everything, you know. So you should be ethically model also. Even the so-called mentors are supposed to have a good relation with people. In Kerala, the POXO case is maximum in Kerala now. Every day, the PDP it has become a normal thing in Kerala. And more than that, people are more aware of these rights and all these things. So these ethical issues you have to address that, especially chief mentor has to address. So this creative solution and conclusion part I am leaving for. Then support system, again the support group I told you, that has to be strengthened. That is parents group, teachers group, or even some other groups you can form. Then mentor development. Mentor development is the HR aspects of this mentoring. How you are developing your volunteers. So consistent programs, and you have to visit some real mentoring work actually going on somewhere. And of course you can have various programs, planned programs you can have, training programs, that also. So this is about the 6 areas he has put before me. This I am again giving you back with a model. So with this model, you just try to come to a scientific conclusion, okay, and leave it to you. Now, how you are going to sustain this project? That means we need a project for this. So what should be the components of this project, this mentoring project? That we will discuss one of the important points of it. Now, as you know, right, for the structure part, I am not going to give you details. Shahjahan sir is here. They all are competent enough to give you the project work and all that aspects. But what is required is the vision part. So that is very important. Okay, I ask you why you are going to mentor. Okay, fine. You should have a vision, after your mentor is here. May a day will come, once they become a responsible citizen or he's entering into a career. What sort of person you are expecting from him? How he look like, how he walk like, how he walk like, how should he respond to the society? That is your expectation, that is your vision. So you should have a clear vision of the person, about the group whom you are going to mentor, how they should be. So from that dream, means you are constructing the future in the present. From that passionate vision only you have to get the energy or the passion to do this work. That is very important. The passionate vision is very important before going to this thing. Then we have to go for 3-year objectives. We are going here, of course, after 3 years, maybe after 5 years, what sort of a citizen you should be, that is your vision. But these 3 years for that, what you are going to do, that is your objective. Objective should be clear, specific, everything. Okay. So intervention components you have to specify. I asked you, and we initially also brought this issue, what sort of components you want to bring in your project or in your mentoring? Whether it is academics only or some other components. Then duration of the project. Okay, identification and selection of the target group. Who should be your target group? And the number of your group. Then duration of the project. It is 3 years you have decided. Then intervention segments I told you. Here comes the components. which are the areas you want to have intervention? Academic performance, of course, that no dispute. Then self-development. For example, I have put that you can decide. Self-development of that mentee, character building of that mentee, effective relationship of that mentee, because many of these slums, the relationship problem is very much, and emotional problems also. The leadership role, once you are mentoring them, they should be the real role models tomorrow. So these things you can think of. Okay. Then I saw you this MSMP, I put it this way, Merit Students Mentoring Project. Okay. We are talking about the components of the project. I told you about the segments, different segments of intervention. Now we have to get the segment objective. Each segment should have an objective for level 1, level 2, level 3. Level 1 is 8th standard, level 2 is 9th standard, level 3 is 10th standard. So each level, in each component or each segment of intervention, you need an objective. Okay, first year academics, you want to bring them, you want to raise their grade. Okay, they are getting, even today CBSE has declared the grading system. They are going to implement a new grading system and all. That you have to look into that. How they are going to evaluate students. The uniformity is bringing all of it. Okay, so how the grading, you want to improve the grade from it is B, A, or A to A plus A1, like that, So if that is your target, first year in academics, you have to focus there only. So for that you have to do intensive subject-based intervention. But self-development, level 1, that is 8th standard student, your intervention should be age specific. They just started their 8th standard, their age and their adolescent, adolescent problems you should understand. So then maybe suppose if you want to they have a confidence building intervention in self-development, the strategy should be accordingly we have to fix. So that is our objective for the level 1 self-confidence. Likewise character, see this is very important now. Suppose you are doing all this work, mentoring everything. You are creating some educated criminals. What is the fun of doing all this exercise? This is what is happening now. Criminals are mostly from educated segment, not from the illiterates. So when educated criminals are increasing, is there any responsibility from your part to add on to this sort of phenomena? No, not necessarily. So the character is very important. So character building, at least one character you can be one, first here, truth. Truthfulness is one character, or honesty is one character. That will not have any relevance in the slum environment. It is not easy to integrate this character to that. But slowly, with their real life, how to walk with this value, we have to teach them slowly by encouraging them. When they do something good things to the character segment you have selected, then you have to reward them. Likewise, that mechanism you have to decide, and each year at least one character highlight should be there. Effective relation, leadership, all this for all these areas, that means segment intervention, you can have level 1 objective, level 2 objective, level 3 objective. So this is very important for our future evaluation. Then intervention strategies further continues. The strategies, okay, once we selected this segment objective, now what should be the strategies? We can have induction. So when we start officially launching this program, we can have an induction program for students. What we are going to do, or induction with parents, then you have to decide the strategy. With parents, teachers and students together or separate. Some induction program is, so that induction program, how many hours you are going to put? That total hours you have to select. Mentoring interviews. This is your personal one-to-one mentoring. So how many hours you are going to contribute for mentoring? Each level, level 1, level 2, level 3, interactive classroom sessions. So sometimes you have to give some sessions, classroom sessions you can give. How many hours? On certain subjects and all this. Visiting an institution, this has this will have very good impact, you know. The student of slum may not be aware of these TIS or some other organizations, you have to bring them and be with the people inside and let them interact with these sort of institutions, which may give some motivation for them to come out and to get higher goals. So for that sort of visiting institutions can be, I'm just simply suggesting, you can design and decide according to your convenience and feasibility. Then meeting with celebrities. Once in a while, either you have to take the celebrities to the slum or you bring the students to the celebrity. Whatever way, you have to get some celebrities of Mumbai who are available locally, Shah Rukh Khan or anybody for that matter, you bring them to the students and ask them to interact with the students. Then our outbound training programs, OBT. The students, they will be more interested in activity-related programs, that too in open crowd. And mostly the slum-based students, they are not getting enough ample space for play. They don't have that habit. Many of the street smartness that has to develop from the playground, isn't it? That is totally denied for the urban student, that too in slums. So you give them some outbound training programs. That is a playful way of learning. Then representation in exhibitions and seminars. These are something, what I wrote here, something we are doing in our projects for students. So what is possible and feasible here, I don't know. So some of these centers, we are sending them for exhibitions and seminars. So science exhibition, we will give some help to develop some ideas by their own, and we will give all facilities to represent in the exhibition. That is one sort of academic-based exhibition. So even their artwork, suppose some painting is done from these slum dwelling students. So you make this exhibition. You have a very good exhibition center in BT area. What is that? Yeah. So you take this slum students exhibition there one day, get a space for them, and this is quite possible. So that way you can project them. So internally their confidence level will go, their achievement motivation will be strengthened. Then cultural exchange. Think of the possibility, send them for some different areas or different some groups or even out of it, but it is money involved thing, you know. But some cultural exchanges is required. For each segments you have to see total number of hours and according to you have to plan. And this has to be closely aligned with our segment objective. So if we take this strategy, how this helps the segment level 1 objective. That way you have to align it. Then monitoring. Monitoring, how we can do? Monitoring we can do by mentor feedback monthly. Every month we have to get the feedback from the mentors. Mentee feedback. Mentees also we have to get. This is the role of the coordinator of the mentor coordinator. From the individual mentors and individual mentees, he has to get the feedback. Monthly report of the mentor coordinator has to make a total report month-wise. Experts review. You can have some experts review every 6 months, you know. Experts can be internal. You have your own internal, and experts review from external. Yearly once at least you can bring some outsiders and let them observe it. Then parents' feedback, teachers' feedback, checklist based year and evaluation. You can have a checklist. What you envisage as achievement in a year. That checklist you can make, and based on that you can make some evaluations. These are some mechanisms of monitoring I have just narrated. And okay, after 3rd year you have to say goodbye to your mentee. very tragic experience, of course, not only you and your, but more severe to the mentee. That should be a sort of emotional this thing, you know. But how you are going to terminate that? Termination and reinforce mechanism should be inbuilt in the project. So even after they are going out of your purview, so the qualities or the talents they have or skills they have picked up here, that is to be reinforced. For that, some mechanism you have to work out. Maybe after some time, some meetings or some not so frequent, but some sort of mentoring you have to follow. So that follow-up things you can decide. Then budget is an essential ingredient of this total project. So these are the components I wanted to discuss with you. And once you make this project effectively, if some budget requirement is here, and you can call for some CSR group or always a very good place, you know. We are, after all, we are going for a genuine philanthropic initiative. You can convince the people around this city. Some one or two companies you can approach, present this project and get some money for it, so that you can appoint a full-time person as a coordinator or something like that. This is a brief I wanted to discuss with you. So this is the thing. Of course, the last part is how you are going to train your mentors. You need a mentor policy, of course. 3 documents are essential. One is mentor training policy, one is mentor manual, then your training module. Mentor training policy is, see, what sort of training you need to see. You have to assess the mentor needs and mentor, see, 3-year and the segments also, segment objectives area. What sort of skills they require to have this strategy to be implemented. For that need also you have to assess. Based on that, you have to make a long-term training policy. So you can use all the available faculty members here in and around. And from CG's part, we are ready to send some faculty members whenever you require. So from CG also we can give some. I think today is not ideal for training program for you. You need weekends. Is it Saturday or Sunday? Likewise, you select 1 or 2 days. We can also recruit some people, but you have to make a calendar of programs, you know, for a year-based calendar, so that sometimes mentors also will be refreshed, and that should be a modular-based program. So that this should be a dynamic partnership, the mentor-mentee relationship. Means both of them have to grow. Mentor also grow, mentee also grow. So that growth process you have to take care of in this process. So for that training policy you can work out. Then mentor manual, that you have chalk out what mentor manual means. Your mentor, there comes your mentor policy, mentor objective, mentor's ethics, values, all these things you can put it in the mentor manual. Then training module, based on the training policy you can make a module, year-based module. Based on that, you can prepare a schedule also. Okay. I was hurrying, I know, but within this time frame, we can only have a roadmap. So mentor's role in experiential learning is like that of a bird guiding their young in living nest. They support without rescue, provide scaffolding, and have the courage to let the learners fail. You have to allow the learners to fail. That is very important, because more lessons you are gaining from the failure, not from the success. That is one important. Second thing, you have to allow them to fly. Don't put them under your wings. See, there is famous quotation: "Your greatness is your horizon is your greatness." So if these children, they don't have very bigger dreams, very narrow dreams. Their horizon is very narrow. So being a mentor, gradually you have to allow them to widen their horizon, and ultimately you have to allow them to fly a bigger horizon. So that is the active of this project of mentoring. So I wish you all the best.
Okay, I think it's been very.
One way talk was there.
No, but
because
time limits. It would have been good if we had at least half a day to sit and discuss all the points which have been discussed here. I think it needs a little more time, and a lot of ideas are there. So we need to really work, and we feel a little excited on one side, and on the other side a bit worried that how do we manage all these things. But definitely there's definitely value in attending this, and there are a lot of things which we can do. We would like to develop it into a interesting, very meaningful program, and I think starting from the challenges to all the steps that you have said, choices and everything, I think that framework itself is a very good framework to me. I think one of the things which I was feeling is that maybe we thought it is career is something which we are looking at, but at the same time all the different aspects including character and everything is really a concern. We may have excellent career-oriented children, but if they are ending up antisocial activities and things like that, whatever mentorship we are doing is actually we are promoting something which is unfavorable in the society. So I think great ideas. We need even some time to sink in all whatever you have suggested, and we need
Take your own time and
Yeah.
get into it.
No, but each of the steps we will go step by step. First is to define what is the goal of our mentorship. Right? Starting from there, as I was saying, what is the goal? What are we going to do? What are the different components? What are the different areas in which mentorship is going to be done? And we will work towards it. And I think we will spend some time among ourselves. Now we have a framework, and we will seek your support.
Definitely, we are with you.
All that
I haven't told anything about CG, I hope you know what CG is and
Some people may not know.
So when we are in Kerala, I think we should.
You visit our office instead of telling,
Yeah.
visiting and experiencing will be. Next time when you are visiting, we welcome all of you.
Like the last slide, we have shown this mentoring manual. Since we are very new, is it anything already there?
No, we don't have a manual at present. That is, see, based on your need, you can make a prepare a manual.
The question is like this. So now you have provided a basic structure. Now thinking over it and making it, that in itself is a big task.
No, that is your
It has to be
exercise
because-
which you have to do in consultation with the Data Institute of Social Sciences, because
They
they are
can-
there
they
to
can
guide
help
you.
you.
It's a very good thing.
And also that it will
Please
be
listen.
unique for every
When you
this thing.
prepare the manual, certain principles will be there. This is in social work. So, sir will be there to help you with these principles, and certain counseling skills also we have to develop. There also some kind of training is required. Certain principles are very simple. Principle of confidentiality. He will explain to you.
Yeah, that is to be
it is
good
very
in that.
important for us. So, and several principles he will tell you. So, as a group, at least once in a month you have to sit together, discuss, and then you get the help of Radhir.
So for example, I put it on the CG. Do you have a training manual?
We have training policy we are having, but we don't have a manual like this. This is for an ideal mentoring scheme I have put this manual.
You have provided.
So even without manual you can
I
start.
think what is primarily needed is to understand what are we going to do with this,
Goal and target.
what is the goal, and let us decide what is the goal and who are the targets.
That is number one.
Yeah, so once that is decided, probably we need not have a manual at this point in time.
Yes.
We may develop over a period of time.
Gradually you can.
The experience, like in the case of science experiments, we were doing, we have done it in several schools. Now we think that all what we have done, if you document it, it becomes a manual. So you are
Yes.
working towards it, putting everything together. So I think let the manual evolve over a period of time. but let's get into it and see how it goes. And I think I really like all those different components, including the character. And I was just thinking, I'll just tell you a very, very simple example. I'll not, anyway, I have to set the context. Without that context, it will not be useful. So I've seen some people in the workplace where I've worked or working or whatever, wherever it is. The entire personal PhD thesis being printed from the office stationery. It's a, I just, how can it happen? It's not right. It's not good. You're printing the entire, thesis from the institutional resources where it is supposed to be done elsewhere. I quite often worry whether something which I am using, an official thing, for a personal purpose, I'm not comfortable. When I was thinking back about it, when I was studying in school, I come from an extremely difficult family background with, when having difficulties in having 3 meals. That was the kind of situation I grew from. So me and my brother was walking from school, and we had to walk almost 3.5 kilometers to reach school. 3 kilometers approximately. So we were walking, and on the way, my elder brother, both of us were walking. He picked up a 25 paise coin from the road, and he came home. So he came to my mom and said that, Mom, this, I got this. She said, go back and put it there, or put it in some other, so the temple or you put it there. Then he was, why? He said, that doesn't, you don't deserve it, that's not yours. So every time when I think about it, this comes to my mind, She just passed away a few months ago. So that person's one single act has instilled something so much in your brain that it will never go. When I was a project manager after college from Rajagiri, I was assigned a 1 crore project just out of my college. My principal, the principal I was talking about, Alex, so he gave me this 1 crore project and said that this is a housing project, for social housing project. It's for and we have to form clusters and form it. And after some time, the project was to be monitored. So when you go to visit, people are not considered and they are lagging behind. So when I went there, so they make all arrangements for me because I am visiting to monitor and things like that. So they make all arrangements, and then after the meeting, they have not completed their stages and money will not be released. So they came together and they gave me a packet, an envelope. So then I realized what is going to happen. I said, how much is this? So he said, sir, it's only 5,000 rupees. I said that how many days you take one person to earn this much money? Sir, we get only 300 rupees, 400 rupees per day. So how much you would have worked for this? And did I ask for this? So then I gave them a earful that this is how you are making people corrupt. I don't want to have this, and you're not going to get anything from this, but you are making this. So I think, mentorship is something which we need to instill values quite very much. And even though you are looking at career has to be located within a kind of an ethical value context. Otherwise it is meaningless. Otherwise we are actually creating more problem for the society who can manipulate, be corrupt and things like that, and you are making them capable, much more capable and employable. So I think it's a huge responsibility on us to do this. So which is scared to get into this.
Need not be scared, but you should be happy.
Yeah.
And you will feel happy. You will not get any financial benefit, but you will get mental satisfaction.
So keep smile and make smile.
Yeah. So we have a reason to smile today. We have a very good reason to smile today because we have one of our, member has got PhD.
Oh,
We want you to probably give a small token of appreciation and congratulations to
Yeah.
Yusuf Ali.
This
He's
is
just got his white card and that means he has become doctor.
and from here,
From yes.
yeah.
Yeah. So
Okay, that's a nice.
Okay, that is a very.
The right thing we are doing at the right moment with the right persons, you know. Okay. Over.
Joseph, എവിടുന്നാ പേജ് പ്രിന്റ് ഔട്ട് എടുത്തത്?
ഇതാണ് സാറ് പറഞ്ഞത്.
ഞാൻ പറഞ്ഞു കഴിഞ്ഞപ്പോഴാ No, I think he has all.
Sir, I have brought some sweets, so please.
This frame I can send you. You take this up. This up. നിങ്ങളെല്ലാവരും എത്ര ദൂരമുള്ളവരാ? എല്ലാവരും
എക്സെപ്റ്റ്
So come to CG when you are in your Mathew place. Those who are from Calicut and nearby places, they can visit. Others they have to make this.
So, you want to say a few words? Now, Abdul will say a few words.
Any feedback on us?
Also feedback of-
About today's interaction?
Yeah, can do something. This is much more than what we probably thought of. I never thought this mentoring process can be so structured. And many of the things we never, probably I never thought of, like one example is this character part. So we always thought about
Academics part.
academics part. But of course, during the limited time when we interact with them, probably would have seen how they behave and but still this has to be, I realize that it has to be taken very seriously. More than probably academics. That's very important.
So,
Depth of our involvement in this, like how it very explicitly is we really need to work hard, plan well and do it. That is what I found. So it is found interesting.
Sir was interested in doing career counseling course.
Oh, I
And
see.
he asked me 2 or 3 times whether he can do it or not. Then I thought how to do conduct classes, something like
So we are, our course is there only. And now we are planning to have a distance mode of program with some contact classes. So if required number is there, we can have it. That we have to see.
We are also trying to have some formal institutional collaboration with TIS.
This
CG is
is- That
planning.
also we are discussing.
Today we had a discussion with the deputy director and all. So,
And he will be in retiring after 1 year. So he like to be full-time education is not something.
So this education social work.
So all of us are, working,
But
It's committed for.
I came from a
You have
background
to
where
get some people from the teachers train, teachers group. Not only from kids, even school teachers you have to get as volunteers. That
We are
comes to the
trying
idea,
to-
wherever we are having good projects, they are in the forefront. Teachers can influence the students. Only thing is they should have that missionary spirit too.